Imagine a life where you're not dependent on the grocery store shelves, where food grows right outside your door, and where the fruits of your labor seem almost effortless. It's a dream for many, but for the Amish, it's a way of life, a sustainable, self-sufficient life that has stood the test of time for centuries. But what if I told you that these timeless gardening secrets could be yours? Secrets that have been handed down for generations. Today, I'm revealing 40 Amish gardening tricks. Tricks that could change the way you grow food forever. And the best part, you don't need acres of land, a green thumb, or a massive time investment. Stay tuned because what I'm about to share could make the difference between a garden that's a chore and one that's abundant, effortless, and full of life. Let's dig into these amazing Amish gardening secrets that'll help you grow more food with less work. Creating the perfect soil. Every great garden starts with great soil. But here's the catch. Soil isn't just dirt. The Amish know this all too well. They've been using an age-old technique called composting long before it was trendy. They don't just throw scraps in a pile and forget about it. No, they create perfect compost that's rich in nutrients, helping plants grow faster, healthier, and with minimal effort. But that's just the beginning. While most gardeners are stuck with store-bought fertilizers, the Amish have learned to nurture the soil with manure, kitchen scraps, and even seaweed. They create living soil, a soil that works for them, not against them. Cover cropping and mulching. Cover cropping is one of the Amish's best-kept secrets, and it's simple. They plant specific crops that protect and enrich the soil during the off-season. These crops like clover and rye work as natural mulch, which prevents soil erosion, retains moisture, and adds vital nutrients back into the earth. And speaking of mulch, the Amish don't rely on expensive store-bought options. Instead, they use hay, straw, and even leaves to lock in moisture and reduce weed growth. Their gardens practically care for themselves. But that's not the only thing they do differently. Let's talk about their approach to irrigation. Efficient irrigation methods. Amish farmers know that water is precious, which is why they've mastered efficient irrigation methods. Unlike modern sprinkler systems that waste water, the Amish use drip irrigation, a simple but effective system that delivers water straight to the roots, where it's needed most. This system reduces water waste and encourages deeper root growth, leading to healthier plants with less effort on your part. But how do they prevent droughts from damaging their crops? That's where the next trick comes in. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting. While most of us are still relying on city water, the Amish are a step ahead. They've been harvesting rainwater for centuries. Using simple yet effective rain barrels, the Amish capture free water from the sky. This rainwater, untouched by chemicals, is perfect for nurturing plants, and with a little planning, it can help you water your entire garden through the driest months. But wait, there's even more. What happens when you need to maximize space and grow more in less area? Here's where the next game-changing trick comes in. Vertical gardening. Think you need a huge backyard to grow a lot of food? Think again. The Amish have mastered vertical gardening. By using trellises, cages, and fences, they turn the smallest spaces into high-yield gardens. Tomatoes, beans, cucumbers, and even squash grow upwards, freeing up valuable ground space for other crops. This is a game changer for anyone with limited space. Whether you live in a suburb or on a small homestead, but vertical gardening isn't the only thing that will help you grow more food in less space. Wait until you hear about their next secret, the secret to maximizing your planting layout. Companion planting isn't just a trendy phrase. It's a strategy that the Amish use to maximize every square inch of their garden. By pairing certain plants together, they create natural alliances. For example, planting beans next to corn benefits both crops by supporting each other, and planting marigolds near tomatoes deters pests. This kind of planting isn't just smart, it's effective, and the results speak for themselves. But what if you could avoid pests altogether without using harmful chemicals? The Amish have the answer, and it's so simple you'll wonder why you didn't think of it yourself. Natural pest control. While many gardeners turn to pesticides to deal with pests, the Amish know there's a better way. They use natural solutions like beneficial insects, such as ladybugs and predatory beetles, to control garden pests. They also plant herbs like basil, garlic, and peppermint, which naturally repel insects without harming the environment. And when pests become particularly stubborn, the Amish have a secret weapon, soap-based insecticide. It's cheap, effective, and completely safe for the environment. Imagine growing your own food, knowing that every bite is free from chemicals. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But we haven't even scratched the surface. In fact, what I'm about to share next could completely revolutionize your gardening routine, and you're not going to want to miss it. Succession planting. Succession planting is one of the most effective ways to keep your garden producing all season long. The Amish use this technique to ensure that as one crop is harvested, another is ready to take its place. It's like creating a never-ending harvest, a garden that works tirelessly for you. Instead of planting everything at once, stagger your crops and keep them coming all season. Would you believe there's a way to grow more food with less effort by simply changing how you plant? Let's talk about the Amish's method of no-till gardening. No-till gardening. The Amish are experts at no-till gardening, a method where you don't disturb the soil every year. Instead of tilling and turning over the earth, they plant directly into the ground without disrupting the natural ecosystem. This method reduces soil erosion, improves moisture retention, and requires far less physical labor. Imagine a garden that works with nature, not against it. A garden where every year it grows stronger, more fertile, and more resilient with minimal effort on your part. Sounds like a dream, right? Crop rotation. One of the most profound secrets the Amish use to keep their gardens thriving year after year is crop rotation. It's a concept that may sound simple, but its impact is powerful. The Amish understand that planting the same crops in the same place year after year can deplete the soil of essential nutrients. That's why they rotate crops, ensuring that the soil remains rich and healthy. For example, after a heavy-feeding crop like corn, they might plant a nitrogen-fixing plant like beans or peas. This keeps the soil in top condition, leading to bigger yields with less effort over time. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book, but it's also one of the most effective. And the best part, you don't need expensive fertilizers or synthetic products. Just the land, the seasons, and a little know-how. Raised bed gardening. If you're looking for another way to take your gardening game to the next level, raised bed gardening might be your new best friend. The Amish use raised beds to reduce weed pressure, increase soil temperature, and ensure better drainage. These beds are incredibly versatile, whether you're growing in a small backyard, on a balcony, or on an expansive homestead. The Amish fill these raised beds with nutrient-rich compost, keeping the soil loose and easy for plants to root. The soil stays warm, especially in early spring, giving plants a head start. With raised beds, you can grow more food in less space and with less maintenance. The beauty of this system is that it requires little to no tilling and offers a manageable, organized way to garden. It's an ideal solution for anyone looking to simplify their gardening efforts, but the key is getting it right from the start. Planting by the moon. Let's talk about something that sounds almost mystical but has been practiced by the Amish for centuries. Planting by the moon. The Amish believe that the phases of the moon have an impact on plant growth. They plant certain crops during specific lunar phases for better yields. For example, they often plant root crops during a waning moon, when the gravitational pull is lower, which encourages stronger root growth. It might sound strange at first, but there's science behind it. The moon cycles have a subtle effect on the Earth's moisture levels and gravitational forces influencing how seeds germinate and grow. By tuning into these cycles, the Amish are able to time their planting perfectly, maximizing every opportunity for success. Could this ancient wisdom hold the key to perfecting your gardening routine? Only one way to find out: start paying attention to the moon. Seasonal preparation and winter gardening. Another fascinating Amish gardening secret is their focus on seasonal preparation. While most people think gardening is a spring to summer affair, the Amish have learned to extend their growing season well into the fall and even winter. In colder climates, they rely on cold frames, simple, transparent enclosures that trap sunlight and warmth. These structures allow them to grow greens and root vegetables well into the winter months. But it doesn't stop there. The Amish also grow perennial vegetables such as asparagus, rhubarb, and garlic. These plants come back year after year, reducing the need for replanting and providing a reliable food source throughout the year. The lesson here: it's not just about growing more food with less work, it's about planning ahead to ensure your garden gives back continuously, and that's something the Amish know all too well. Building soil fertility with green manures. Speaking of building soil health, the Amish also rely on green manures, which are plants grown specifically to be turned into the soil to improve its structure and fertility. Crops like clover, vetch, and rye are planted not to be harvested, but to enrich the soil. When they decompose, they add organic matter that helps soil retain nutrients and moisture. It's an approach that might seem unconventional, but it's incredibly effective. By using green manures, you're essentially growing your own soil booster, and you're not relying on external sources of fertilizer. It's a more sustainable way of gardening, and it's a secret the Amish have kept to themselves for years. Efficient weed management. Now let's talk about weeds. Everyone's gardening nightmare. The Amish have learned to outsmart weeds rather than battle them head-on. Instead of constantly pulling them, they use a method known as deep mulching. This involves applying a thick layer of mulch, straw, wood chips, or grass clippings around plants, which not only prevents weeds from sprouting but also retains moisture and improves soil health. This technique is a game changer, especially if you're tired of endless hours spent weeding. By cutting down on weed growth early, the Amish create a weed-free environment that requires much less maintenance. The best part? This strategy is simple, sustainable, and effective for both small and large gardens alike. Pruning for productivity. Another tip from the Amish: proper pruning. They know that the key to high yields isn't just about planting the right crops. It's about nurturing them as they grow. Pruning encourages plants to focus their energy on producing fruit rather than wasting resources on excess branches or leaves. For fruit trees, for example, the Amish make sure to trim back dead or overgrown limbs, allowing sunlight and air to reach the remaining branches. This increases fruit production while keeping the plants healthy. But pruning isn't just for fruit trees. The Amish also prune their tomato plants, peppers, and other vegetables to remove unnecessary growth and boost productivity. By trimming away the excess, you're allowing your plants to give you their best, and they'll repay you with larger, more abundant harvests. Harvesting at peak ripeness. As we get closer to the end of our list of Amish gardening secrets, here's a final game-changing tip: timing your harvest. The Amish know that harvesting at the right moment is crucial for the flavor, texture, and longevity of your produce. They don't just pick vegetables and fruits when they feel right, they wait until the crops are at their peak ripeness. By picking at just the right time, they ensure their harvest lasts longer, stores better, and tastes better. Whether it's tomatoes, potatoes, or squash, the Amish have mastered the art of timing. And you can too if you pay attention to the subtle signs each plant gives you. Your garden will thank you for it. Building a strong garden community. As the Amish approach life with the spirit of cooperation, it's no surprise that their gardening practices reflect the same philosophy. One of their greatest secrets isn't just in their methods, it's in community. The Amish often come together to help each other with planting, harvesting, and maintaining their gardens. This collective effort not only eases the workload but also strengthens bonds within the community. What's remarkable is how they share knowledge. They pass down gardening wisdom, tips, and tricks to the younger generation, creating a never-ending cycle of learning. Imagine having a community around you, working together for a common goal: growing food and supporting one another. While we may not all have the Amish community structure, you can start building your own gardening network. Think about sharing resources, tools, and even advice with friends, neighbors, or online groups. Gardening becomes more than just a solo task. It becomes a shared experience that grows your success exponentially. Using natural pest barriers. When it comes to keeping pests away, the Amish don't rely on toxic chemicals or invasive methods. Instead, they rely on natural pest barriers. They build fences and physical barriers using materials like wire mesh, creating natural deterrents for larger pests like deer or rabbits. The simple yet effective solutions are often more successful than trying to fight nature with harsh chemicals. And it doesn't stop there. Many Amish gardens are surrounded by wildflower hedgerows or herb gardens that attract beneficial insects like pollinators, while also repelling the ones that cause harm. Think of it as creating a mini ecosystem within your garden, where every plant and insect has a purpose. By encouraging biodiversity, you reduce your dependency on harmful interventions, and you naturally create a garden that works in harmony with nature. The power of patience in permaculture. As we've seen throughout this entire journey, the Amish approach gardening with one key ingredient: patience. And this principle leads us right into the heart of permaculture, a system of gardening that focuses on creating sustainable, self-sufficient ecosystems. The Amish know that growing a garden isn't just about planting seeds and waiting, it's about understanding the cycles of nature, allowing the land to evolve, and working with it, not against it. One of the Amish's greatest tools in this regard is forest gardening. They often plant in layers, tall trees for shade, understory plants for fruits and vegetables, and ground cover plants that protect the soil. This layered system mimics a natural forest ecosystem, and once it's established, it requires very little input. But here's the kicker: it takes time. The Amish give their gardens room to grow and change, understanding that nature doesn't work on a human timeline, it works on its own, and it rewards those who are patient. Gardening with children. Another Amish secret is their emphasis on teaching children about gardening. The younger generation plays an integral role in maintaining the family garden. From a young age, Amish children are taught how to plant, tend, and harvest. This tradition not only ensures that the next generation is connected to the land, but it also creates a deep sense of responsibility and appreciation for the food they grow. As you embark on your gardening journey, consider involving your own children or younger family members. There's something incredibly powerful about passing on these skills. Teaching the next generation to respect nature and understand where their food comes from creates a lasting bond, one that lasts long after the harvest. And perhaps the best part of gardening with children is watching their faces light up when they see their hard work yield real edible results. Grow your own seeds. Speaking of sustainability, let's talk about the Amish's secret to reducing their dependency on external sources: saving and growing their own seeds. The Amish have been saving seeds for centuries, a practice that's not only cost-effective but also ensures that their crops are well adapted to their unique environment. They understand that seed saving isn't just about preserving genetics, it's about preserving their connection to the land and the fruits of their labor. If you haven't already started saving seeds, now is the perfect time to begin. Not only will you save money, but you'll also be able to grow crops that thrive specifically in your local environment. By selecting and saving the best performing plants each season, you'll naturally increase your garden's productivity and resilience. It's a small step that has a huge long-term impact on the sustainability of your garden. The Amish and seed exchange. Even though the Amish save their own seeds, they also believe in the power of sharing them. Seed exchange is an integral part of their gardening culture. By exchanging seeds with others in their community, they ensure genetic diversity, encourage plant variety, and strengthen their ties with others who share the same values. It's a reminder that gardening isn't just about personal success. It's about building a broader, more resilient community. If you're looking to expand the variety in your garden, think about joining a local seed exchange or starting one with your neighbors. This not only gives you access to a broader range of plants, but also connects you with others who are passionate about growing food. Smart storage for maximum longevity. The Amish are masters at preserving food for the winter. But the preservation process starts well before the harvest. Proper storage is critical for maintaining the longevity of the food you've worked so hard to grow. The Amish use root cellars, which provide cool, dark, and stable conditions for storing everything from root vegetables to canned goods. This simple, time-tested method allows them to preserve food without the need for modern refrigeration. If you're looking to store food for the long term, consider creating your own root cellar or utilizing basement space that remains naturally cool. You'll also want to learn about drying, canning, and fermenting, 3 additional techniques the Amish use to preserve food. These methods are not only effective, but they also retain nutrients, ensuring that your food is as healthy as it is long-lasting. The importance of working with nature. Perhaps the greatest lesson the Amish can teach us isn't just about specific techniques, it's about their overall philosophy. The Amish don't see themselves as separate from nature, they see themselves as a part of it. Their gardens are a reflection of their relationship with the earth, one built on respect, patience, and care. And that's the core secret to growing more food with less work. Working with nature. It's about understanding the land, listening to the rhythms of the seasons, and using time-tested methods that respect the environment. The more we align ourselves with nature, the less we have to fight against it. And the results speak for themselves. A garden that thrives on minimal intervention with maximum reward. So, as you take these Amish gardening tips into your own hands, remember this: it's not just about the crops you grow, it's about how you grow them, the values you bring to your garden, and the connection you create with the earth. Diversifying your garden for long-term success. Now let's talk about one last Amish gardening secret that can revolutionize the way you grow food. Diversification. The Amish understand that diversity in the garden not only helps to keep pests at bay, but also ensures a steady and abundant harvest throughout the season. Instead of putting all their eggs in one basket, they plant a wide variety of crops, from fruits and vegetables to herbs and flowers. By diversifying your garden, you're also spreading your risk. If one crop doesn't thrive due to weather or pests, others will step in to fill the gap. This principle of diversification gives the Amish an advantage, providing a consistent food supply even in challenging conditions. It's not just about having a backup plan, it's about creating a garden that thrives under a wide range of circumstances. So, next time you plant, think about introducing new crops or expanding the variety. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to sustain a diversified garden with less effort. Utilizing animals for garden health. Here's a strategy the Amish use that many gardeners overlook: integrating animals into your gardening system. The Amish are known for using animals like chickens, ducks, and even goats to help maintain healthy soil and control pests. Chickens, for instance, are excellent at scratching the soil, turning it, and keeping it aerated. They also eat insects, reducing the need for chemical interventions. But the key is managing this integration carefully. The Amish know how to strike the perfect balance between animals and crops. By rotating animals through garden beds, they can help fertilize the soil with their droppings while keeping weeds and pests under control. It's a perfect example of how animals can work alongside your garden to reduce labor and increase food production. If you have the space and resources, think about adding chickens or ducks to your garden. They can become the perfect partners in creating a self-sustaining ecosystem, one that works for you while giving back to the land. The Amish and composting. Speaking of sustainability, let's dive into composting. Another tool the Amish use to reduce waste and build healthy soil. Composting is an age-old practice that turns organic waste into nutrient-rich soil that your plants love. And the Amish do it well. They know that their garden's success hinges on the health of the soil, and composting provides the best way to maintain that health. The beauty of composting is that it's free and easy. The Amish use a mix of kitchen scraps, garden waste, manure, and organic matter to create their compost piles. Over time, this pile breaks down into rich, fertile soil, which can be spread over garden beds to increase crop yields. It's an environmentally friendly method of improving soil fertility, and once you start composting, you'll never look back. But here's the thing, you don't need to wait until you have a big pile of compost before using it. The Amish incorporate it into their gardens regularly, adding a small amount here and there throughout the season. It's the small, consistent additions that make a big difference in the long run. The Amish and companion planting for healthier crops. One more secret that the Amish use to grow healthier, more abundant crops is companion planting. This technique involves planting certain crops next to each other in order to help each other thrive. For example, the Amish often plant marigolds alongside vegetables to repel insects and pests. Similarly, they pair beans with corn, where the beans climb up the corn stalks, providing a natural trellis while also fixing nitrogen in the soil. Companion planting can also enhance flavor and nutrient content. By selecting the right partners for your plants, you're not only improving their health but also maximizing the space and resources in your garden. It's nature's way of creating a balanced, harmonious growing environment. Think about your garden as a community of plants. Choose companions wisely and watch how your garden grows stronger and more resilient, all while requiring less work and fewer interventions. Using simple tools for efficiency. One thing you'll notice in Amish gardens is the simplicity of their tools. The Amish don't rely on fancy high-tech gadgets. Instead, they use basic effective tools that help them stay efficient while still getting excellent results. From hand plows to simple hoes and seeders, these tools may not have all the bells and whistles, but they get the job done with precision and care. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need the latest, greatest gardening technology to succeed. But the truth is, you can grow an abundant garden with just a few well-chosen, simple tools. The Amish have mastered this art, and their gardens are proof that it's not about having more. It's about using what you have wisely. Take a moment to evaluate your gardening toolkit. Do you really need all those gadgets, or could you simplify? Sometimes the less you have, the more efficient you become. Building a greenhouse for extended seasons now. If you want to take your gardening to the next level, consider building a greenhouse. While not every Amish farm has one, many do, especially for growing in cooler climates. A greenhouse allows them to extend the growing season by providing a controlled environment where plants can thrive, even during the colder months. The Amish typically build their greenhouses with simple, durable materials like wood frames and transparent plastic or glass panels. This setup traps the sun's heat during the day, helping plants grow more quickly and even allowing them to grow certain crops year-round. For those looking to harvest in winter or get a jump start on spring, a greenhouse can be a game changer. And if you think a greenhouse is out of your reach, think again. You can start small with inexpensive materials and expand as you gain experience. A greenhouse could be your ticket to year-round gardening, and it's something the Amish have known about for generations. Sustainable water management techniques. One of the most critical aspects of Amish gardening is their focus on sustainable water management. The Amish are experts at conserving water, using methods that not only reduce waste but also keep their plants thriving even during dry spells. They rely on rainwater harvesting systems where rain is collected in barrels or cisterns and stored for later use in the garden. Rainwater is often considered superior to tap water because it's free from chemicals and better suited for plants. The Amish have long used this technique to ensure that their gardens always have the water they need, especially in times of drought, and it's something that's easy for anyone to implement. Start by setting up a simple rainwater collection system in your own garden, and you'll be amazed at how much water you can save. Another invaluable lesson the Amish impart is the power of simplicity in garden design. The Amish are not drawn to extravagant, complex garden layouts. Instead, they focus on functional designs that prioritize efficiency, beauty, and sustainability. Their gardens are often well organized with clear paths for easy access and simple raised beds that maximize space without requiring too much effort. When designing your own garden, consider simplifying the layout. Focus on accessibility, making sure you can easily reach all your plants without trampling your beds. Keep your tools and materials organized to avoid frustration. And remember, a garden that's easy to maintain will give you more time to actually enjoy it. The Amish believe in working with the land, not fighting against it, and by simplifying your design, you create a more enjoyable and sustainable growing environment. Let nature guide your planting schedule. Now let's talk about something the Amish have mastered: planting by the seasons and listening to nature. The Amish don't use fancy calendars or planting guides. They rely on what nature tells them. They understand the first frost, the soil temperature, and the natural rhythms of the land. When it's time to plant, they plant. When it's time to harvest, they harvest. They let the land speak to them and guide their actions. This doesn't mean you can't use a planting calendar, but rather it's a reminder that the best gardener is someone who is in tune with the environment. Pay attention to the changes in your local climate, the patterns of the seasons, and the conditions of your soil. By listening to the land, you can time your planting and harvesting more accurately, leading to a more successful and fruitful garden. Harnessing the power of mulching. Another Amish trick that makes gardening easier is the use of mulching. Mulch is a gardener's best friend. Whether it's straw, wood chips, or leaves, mulch works wonders in preventing weeds, conserving moisture, and enriching the soil. The Amish are known for using thick layers of mulch in their gardens, and it's one of the reasons they can grow so much food with less work. The beauty of mulch is that it creates an almost self-sustaining environment. As it breaks down, it adds organic matter to the soil, improving its fertility over time. It also helps to keep the soil temperature consistent, preventing it from getting too hot in the summer or too cold in the winter. By mulching your garden beds, you can reduce the amount of weeding and watering you need to do, giving you more time to focus on other aspects of your garden. Beating weeds without chemicals. Weeding is one of the most labor-intensive aspects of gardening, but the Amish have found a way to handle weeds without turning to harmful chemicals. One of their most effective techniques is hand weeding, an old-school method, but one that really works when combined with proper garden planning and mulching. The Amish also use crop rotation, ensuring that weeds don't become too established in any one area. In addition, they use techniques like flame weeding, where they use a small flame torch to burn weeds in their early stages of growth. It's a non-toxic method that kills weeds before they can spread. The key to managing weeds the Amish way is to stay on top of it early and not let them take over your garden. By implementing a few of these strategies, you'll keep weeds at bay without the need for harmful herbicides, creating a healthier environment for both you and your plants. Natural fertilizers for stronger plants. Fertilizers play an essential role in keeping your plants healthy and productive, but instead of reaching for a bag of synthetic fertilizers, the Amish often rely on natural alternatives. One of their favorites is manure, which they use to fertilize their garden beds. Manure is rich in nutrients and helps to enrich the soil without the need for chemical additives. If you don't have access to fresh manure, you can create your own compost tea, which is a liquid made by steeping compost in water. It's a natural fertilizer that can be applied directly to your plants, providing them with the nutrients they need to grow strong and healthy. You can even use fish emulsion or seaweed as natural liquid fertilizers to give your plants a boost. The key is to focus on building and maintaining healthy soil so you're growing plants that are resilient and self-sustaining. Embracing crop rotation. One of the most effective and sustainable gardening practices the Amish use is crop rotation. This involves changing the location of your crops each season to prevent soil depletion and reduce the buildup of pests and diseases. The Amish rotate crops like beans, corn, and tomatoes, ensuring that the soil remains fertile and productive year after year. Crop rotation helps to maintain soil health by allowing different crops to return different nutrients to the soil, which reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers. It's a simple practice that can have a profound impact on the health and productivity of your garden. You don't need to rotate every single crop, but by switching up your planting beds, you ensure that your soil remains balanced and productive for years to come. The final Amish gardening wisdom: resilience through simplicity. As we wrap up our deep dive into the 40 Amish gardening tricks, there's one final lesson the Amish teach us: resilience through simplicity. In every technique, every principle they've passed down through the generations, there's a profound focus on sustainability, patience, and working with the land. They've learned that when you focus on the essentials and embrace the simple joys of gardening, the results are often the most fruitful. It's not about doing more work, it's about doing less, but doing it better. Less reliance on chemicals, less stress about having the perfect garden, less focus on competing with others. The Amish show us that simplicity is not only effective, it's empowering. And it's the secret to growing more food with less effort. By incorporating these Amish principles into your own gardening practices, you'll be able to create a more efficient, abundant, and harmonious garden that thrives season after season. It's a reminder that gardening is not a race, it's a journey, one that's best taken at nature's pace. So, are you ready to take these lessons and implement them into your own garden? If you do, I promise you'll be amazed by the transformation that awaits. But remember, it's about small changes over time, so start slow and keep improving your garden as you learn. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that will help you live a more sustainable, productive life. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep living with nature.